In my previous lecture, I introduced some of the primary activities to you: hunting and food gathering, pastoralism, shifting agriculture, practice of transhumance, etc. Now, in this lecture, I will be talking about intensive subsistence agriculture, plantation agriculture, Mediterranean agriculture, etc. Let's begin with intensive subsistence agriculture. The term intensive subsistence agriculture is used to describe a type of agriculture characterized by high output per unit of land and relatively low output per worker. Although the nature of this agriculture has changed, and in many areas now it is no more subsistence. This form of agriculture is best developed practically confined to the monsoon lands of Asia. It is found in China, Japan, Korea, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, the greater parts of continental Southeast Asia, and parts of peninsular Southeast Asia. This map will tell us clearly about where all it is practiced. Intensive subsistence agriculture is dominated by wet paddy agriculture in some parts of the countries. In these regions, rice is the main crop. It is practiced in densely populated areas of the world. Intensive subsistence agriculture dominated by crops other than paddy due to different relief features, soil, and some other geographical factors. It is not favorable to grow paddy in many parts of the monsoon Asia. So, we look for the options. The main characteristics of the intensive subsistence agriculture are as follows. It has very small holdings. Second, farming is very intensive. In monsoon Asia, the peasants are so land hungry that every bit of tillable land is utilized for agriculture. The third, much hand labor is entailed. Traditionally, much hand labor is required in wet paddy cultivation. The Europeans colonized many parts of the world and they introduced plantation agriculture, which were mainly profit-oriented large-scale production systems. So, let us learn about plantation agriculture now. Plantation agriculture is an important form of land use in the tropics, and in many countries, the area under plantation crops has expanded rapidly in the past decades. Here we see a picture of a tea estate and the regions on the world map where plantation agriculture is practiced specifically. The tropical plantation is one of the world's oldest systems of commercial agriculture. Since 1500 AD, the products from over a dozen tropical crops have been in constant demand by people in the temperate regions. The specialized commercial cultivation of cash crops on estates or plantation is a very distinctive type of tropical agriculture and is found in many parts of Asia, Africa, and tropical and subtropical America. Plantation agriculture is different than other forms of agriculture. The characteristic features of plantation agriculture are as follows. Plantation agriculture is highly sophisticated and scientific methods are used for large-scale production. There is specialization of single crop in plantation agriculture. Example, coffee in Brazil, tea in India, rubber in Malaysia, etc. Estate farming. Plantation crops are usually raised on large estates. Farming in estates is scientifically managed. Work in estates is executed with specialized skill and wherever possible with the application of machinery and fertilizers. It aims at high yields, high quality production and a large output, most of which is exported. Heavy capital outlay. To initiate and to maintain a tropical plantation, large sums of money are required. Let's look into the other type of farming, which is known as commercial grain farming. Commercial grain farming is an extensive and mechanized form of agriculture. This is a development in the continental lands of the mid-latitudes. You can look into the regions where it is practiced all over the world. The characteristics of this agriculture are First, specialization in single crop. Commercial grain farming is highly specialized and generally one single crop is grown. In most commercial grain regions, that crop is wheat. Both winter wheat and spring wheat is grown in these areas. Second, farms are very large. And third, highly mechanized. The commercial grain farming is highly mechanized. Cultivation from plowing to harvesting is often entirely mechanized. Fourth, low yield per acre but high yield per man. In this farming, wheat grown gives comparatively low yields. The average yield is seldom more than 1700 kg per hectare, whereas under intensive cultivation, the yield is more in many countries. But because of mechanization, less labor force is required. Therefore, yield per man is high. This type of agriculture has best developed in Eurasian steppes, the Canadian and American prairies, the pampas of Argentina, the wells of South Africa, the Australian Downstan and Canterbury Plains of New Zealand. Mixed farming is an agricultural system in which a farmer conducts different agricultural practices together, such as cash crop and livestock. It is something different from the plantation agriculture that we have learned recently. The aim of mixed farming is to increase income through different sources and to complement land and labor demands across the year. Let us look into this world map, which shows the different regions all over the world. Mixed farming is an agrarian system that mixes arable farming with the raising of livestock. When on a farm, along with crop production, some other agriculture-based practice like poultry, dairy farming or beekeeping etc. is adopted, then this system of farming is known as mixed farming, to understand in a little better manner. This type of mixed farming provides greater security than the growing of a single crop. As in the extensive prairies, wheat farms may suffer from market fluctuations and crop failures. The two most extensive regions of mixed farming are in Eurasia and United States of America. The temperate latitudes of southern continents is the other region. The characteristics of mixed farming. The mixed farming is done for, first, sustenance of animals, second, for own consumption, and third, for commercial sale. The other characteristics of mixed farming is, in mixed farming, about 90% land is devoted to agriculture. And the third, in mixed farming, crop rotation is followed in order to maintain soil fertility. There is a large use of both organic and inorganic fertilizers in this type of agriculture. The degree of commercialism varies considerably. In West Central Europe, the northern United States and Argentina, mixed farming is highly commercialized, while in other areas, the commercialization is very limited. Let's see another type of farming, and that is dairy farming. Dairy farming is a class of agriculture for long-term production of milk, which is processed either on the farm or at a dairy plant, either of which may be called a dairy, for eventual sale of a dairy product. This picture gives us the idea how dairy farming is practiced. It is an activity of the temperate latitude based on utilization of permanent pastures. It is most advanced, efficient and capital intensive type of farming. The productivity is very high in dairy farming regions. Its location depends on the demand by the urban and industrial centers, which provide market for fresh milk and dairy products. The development of transportation, refrigeration, pasteurization have increased the duration of storage of various dairy products. Three main regions of dairy farming are Northwestern Europe, Canada, Southeastern Australia, New Zealand and Tasmania. Look at this map, which shows these three regions. Mediterranean agriculture is another type of agriculture. It is a type which is found in the areas surrounded the Mediterranean Sea, which have mild, wet winters and hot, dry summers, and also in those areas elsewhere with the similar climatic conditions. Of central and southern California, central Chile, and southwest of Cape Province, the southwest of Western Australia also. One of the most common type of agriculture in the Mediterranean type is viticulture. Viticulture is the word which has been derived from a Latin word. The original meaning to this is wine. It is the science and study and cultivation of grapes. It deals with a series of events that occur in the vineyard. When the grapes are used for winemaking, it is also known as viniculture. It is a branch of science of horticulture. You can see those beautiful grapes grown in the Mediterranean region and how they are harvested with the help of the machines. It also includes the growing of figs and olives. However, market gardening and horticulture specializes in cultivation of vegetables, fruits and flowers only for the urban market. The farms are located in the peripheral region of the urban location with efficient transportation network. It is labor as well as capital intensive. The use of high yield variety seeds, irrigation, fertilizers and artificial heating in colder regions are noteworthy in this type of farming. One such typical feature is truck farming, where fresh vegetables are supplied to the urban market. The distance of truck farms from the market are governed by the distance that a truck can cover overnight, hence the name truck farming. Types of farming can also be categorized according to the farming organization. For example, cooperative farming and collective farming. Cooperative farming, where farmers pool their resources in certain areas of activity. It is successfully practiced in Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Sweden and Italy. Collective farming and communal farming are various types of agricultural production in which several farmers run their holdings as a joint enterprise. This type of collective is essentially an agricultural production cooperative in which member owners engage jointly in farming activities. Typical examples of collective farms include kolkhoz that dominated Soviet agriculture between 1930 and 1991. The annual targets are set forth by the government. The profit earned or the excess of the fixed amount is distributed among the members. This type of farming was introduced by former Soviet Union, which was then adopted by the socialist countries. Mining is another primary activity and is the extraction of valuable minerals or other geological minerals from the earth, from an ore body, lode, vein, seam or a reef, which forms the mineralized package of economic interest to the miner. The discovery of minerals in the history of human development is reflected in many stages in terms of Copper Age, Bronze Age and Iron Age. Major factors affecting exploitation of mineral resources in the world are as follows: richness or grade of the ore, size of deposit, method of mining, accessibility, transportation facilities, stage of industrial development, technology are some of it to mention. Majorly, there are two methods of mining. It depends upon the mode of occurrence and the nature of the ore. The easiest and cheapest method of mining is the open cast mine. Here is a picture of an open cast mining. The simple diagram is showing the different design parameters on an open pit mine. The other one is the shaft mining. It refers to the method of excavating a vertical, near vertical tunnel from the top down where there is initially no access to the bottom. Shaft sinking is one of the most difficult of all developmental methods. Restricted space, gravity, groundwater and specialized procedures make the task quite formidable. Here is a picture shows the shaft mining. Let us draw our attention to the fact that the developed economies are withdrawing from mining, processing and refining stages of production due to high labor cost. Nevertheless, developing countries with large population are becoming more important. In this lecture, we have learned about intensive subsistence agriculture, commercial grain farming, plantation agriculture, mixed farming, dairy farming, Mediterranean agriculture, and also mining. In the next lecture, we will take up the secondary activities and the factors affecting. Thank you.